Hello and welcome to the Quiver channel. I am Jason, your host. I hope you're all having a wonderful Saturday morning or afternoon. It's afternoon now. Yeah. It's one of those days where I start messing around with stuff in the house. Just generally trying to put things in order. And this doesn't have to be the kind of order that a rational, normal person would want. It's just things have to go in certain places for my brain to stop itching. My brain was itching last night at Munchies. Oh yeah. People who don't have ADHD or autism or anything like that, it's very hard for them to understand the limits and the challenges. So I went to Munchies last night, did the pre-show. I had a song ready to go for the karaoke. It always makes me feel better doing that. And I start the song. And the song was, let's try to remember the song. I never remember what song I do. But I can check on my YouTube history. Yeah, that's my brain. So if I go to my history and see okay. Skyfall. So I start singing the first song, Skyfall. And then, literally 2 minutes into the song, my brain goes, ooh, you know what? You want to sing this instead. And now, for a non-neurodivergent person, it would be, okay, brain, I know I want to do that, but I'm singing this one now. I'm halfway through it. I'm enjoying myself. And you could just, those errant thoughts, you could put them to the side, deal with them later, put it on a list for the next song you might sing. No. For someone dealing with the kind of things I deal with, it's a complete and total roadblock. The moment my brain says, oh, you want to do this, I have to do that. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. When it comes to that point, the brakes are on, there's no intent, no will, no ability to continue doing whatever I was doing at the time. I have to switch. So I switched to Take On Me, Unplugged. Love that version of the song. And then halfway through that song, my brain says, you know what I really want to sing at the moment? Rocky Horror Picture Show science fiction double feature. So halfway through the second song, I had to switch it again because my brain just, And a lot of the time, that is how I have to function. If I will play a game and my brain will say, ooh, you know what? This game reminds me of this game. Let's stop playing that. Even if we can't save, even if we can't thingy, if we're halfway through a battle, we have to Control, Alt, Delete, Task Manager, and cancel it because my brain's just decided you're doing something else now. And my brain will go off and I will have to do the next thing. And it isn't a choice-based mechanic. It is not a choice-based mechanic. It is not a logic-based situation. It is not a way where my brain can just say, oh, I'll put that aside for a little bit later. I'll put it on my to-do list because I don't have a to-do list that works. There's lots of different ways people explain it. There's the idea that you've got a small to-do list in your head about that big and it can have 10 items on. But this is for a neurodivergent person. 10 items. Not bad. 10 items are good. But if your brain decides on one of the items, that item can take up all 10 slots. Nothing else gets done. What do I mean by nothing else gets done? Going to the bathroom, realising that you're constipated, realising that you need to go for a pee. These things will not be on the to-do list and will not be acknowledged by your brain because your brain is interested in this. It's like it completely overrides everything. You can have a lot of problems with food, balancing food intake, because simply put, you can have just eaten and then your brain said, "Ooh, I'd like a pizza." And it doesn't matter if you're full. It doesn't matter if you will have to order a pizza or you will not do anything else for the rest of the day. Your brain will be fixated on that one thought that it's come up with. And this is why I have so many coping strategies to stop my brain going in different directions. This is what I talk about. When I talk about bad things can happen if I don't have all my coping strategies in place, it isn't just the big bad things like spiraling, deep depression, all those kind of things, getting constipated because I don't go to the bathroom when I'm supposed to, because it will just take away the beep you're hearing. Is just my air fryer is cooking some sausages for the dogs. So it's everything I do is in a way so that my brain doesn't get to the point of saying, "Ooh, shiny," because it's so hard to explain, but sometimes if the reason I listen to my Audible books when I leave my bedroom to go and do something else, the reason I have the noise cancelling headphone earplugs in when I go and do that, they're over there at the moment charging, ready to be used. And my phone is here ready with my Audible books on, and that's always charged. Why? Because walking around my house is not something I can do. As a neurotypical person, you can walk around the house. That seems silly, doesn't it, that I can't? I've got to have something, a low-level feedback, something to occupy me so I don't do something stupid. So I don't walk in here, then think to myself, "Ooh, I want to look at that picture on the stairs." So I will go to the stairs, I will sit down and I'll look at the picture that I've got on my stairs. It's a picture of Doctor Who. It's quite a nice little picture. It's a 3D art piece of picture. And I'll sit down on the stairs, and that will take up my time for 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 hours, 4 hours, the rest of the day. Time and space doesn't matter to it. My brain doesn't have that kind of ability to switch once it decides it wants to do something and something's fun and cool and happy. So when I leave so that I don't get triggered by things, by anything in my house, when I'm not on here with you and I haven't got a visitor, see, if a visitor's here, like when Britt comes to visit, I can focus on that person. That can be I can function because that person's there. But without something like that, I will spend my day doing completely random things. And my brain will be screaming at me to do other things, but it can't. I will know that there's other things I should be doing. I will know that there's things I wanted to do, things that I planned to do. But I can't make the plans. And if I make the plans, I can't stick to the plan. It's funny. Early on, one of my mental health providers gave me an app. He said, I want you to just tell me what your mood is like every day. Just log into this app, just turn it on, and each day just press an icon for whether you're happy, you're sad, so that we can judge how things are affecting your mental landscape with bipolar and stuff like that. And I told him, I said, we can try it, yeah, but there's a good chance it'll just go off my to-do list and there's nothing I can do about that. And for the first 3 days, I managed to use it. And then 2 months later, I remembered that I had it. So 1-2 days, and then 2 months later, we're not putting anything into it because it didn't go on my to-do list, and if it went on my to-do list, it stayed on it for 2 days. This is why people with neurotypical and neurodivergent are so different in our needs and everything. Sounds like the food's ready. So the doggies are going to have sausages. Sausages for the doggies. Oh yeah. It's just, the reason I talk about this kind of stuff so much is for someone that doesn't have these issues. It's, your brain works completely differently. So it's very hard for you to understand the roadblocks. Understand that it's not just, oh, just shake it off, or oh, try this. No. We are not talking easy in any way, shape, or form. In fact, impossible is more the point of this. I have to do things using my coping strategies, and that means sometimes things don't get done. And sometimes I might have a list of 3 things I want to do in a day, and I'll get one of them done. Washing machines. Washing machines is a big one. The amount of people, autistic and neurodivergent people I know, who have a load of washing in the washer for like a week, and they'll turn the washer on, it'll wash, and they'll just continue along with their stuff, and then they'll completely forget that they put washing in the washer until the next time they need to put washing in the washer. And of course, that means it's got to be washed again. See, the way I get around, once my washing is on the line outside, I've got lines outside for the washing, once the way I get around not forgetting it in case it rains during the night and makes it completely silly and I've got to do it again, is that I leave my security camera in the backyard, lets me know when there's movement in the backyard. So if I leave, so I could turn it off when I could turn that system off when I've got washing out in the backyard, because it sends notifications to my phone every few minutes, which is quite annoying. But there's a good chance that those notifications will remind me at some point in time during the day to go out and check the washing, and if it's dry, to get it off the line and bring it in. Because post-it notes work only if you look at the post-it notes. Having a schedule only works if you remember to look at the schedule. This is why the logical, normal things that a normal person would use, like a to-do list or a diary, they only work if your brain can understand the concept and work with the idea of putting stuff on that list and remembering to check that list. Those are things that a neurodivergent person cannot do in the normal way. So we have to trick our brains. Like, I don't care whether or not I didn't shave for the rest of my life. I wouldn't care if I looked scruffy as fuck. I wouldn't care if I wore the same t-shirt for 6 or 7 weeks. That doesn't bother me at all. Doesn't bother me. But what does bother me is this. When my whiskers get beyond like 2 or 3 millimeters in length, I notice them and it annoys the fuck out of my brain. That's why I shave every 2 or 3 days. The reason I brush my teeth every day is because when I wake up, my teeth feel furry and icky. So I will do that. I've never been able to do both morning and night, but I always make sure that I brush my teeth once a day. And the same goes for, I wash my face. I don't wash my face because I want to be clean. I wash my face because to get rid of the sleepy stuff out of my eyes. And I just basically grab some water on my face. That's my wash. Dishes in the sink. I wouldn't give a shit if I had 40 days worth of dishes in the sink. Wouldn't bother me at all from a cleaning perspective. But it would from I've noticed those dishes in the sink and I can't leave the kitchen until they've been washed, because if I don't wash them, I won't be able to leave the kitchen because they're in the sink, and I know they're in the sink. So I can angle and leverage what I'm dealing with. Yep, beeping, stuff beeping. Yes, I know it's all. It will beep until I open it up and get it out, so I don't forget that the sausage is in there for the dogs. It's annoying, but I like these kind of things help me. This is why I have so many coping strategies to deal with it, because the normal way of going about things doesn't work. The things for a neurotypical person do not latch into my brain, do not stay there, do not help me in any way, shape or form. So I have to, and this is every single autistic person will have different kinds of problems and different kinds of coping strategies, because they have to. You have to. And certain things will itch your brain and drive you crazy, and you have to deal with. But if you can leverage those things, I can keep the house functioning, because everything in the house is in good maintenance, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to sleep. If I didn't, I wouldn't be able to do this, because I'd be stuck at this, trying to deal with this before I got to this. I hope you're all having a good day. Bye-bye for now.